Hey, what's going on, everybody? So we have some interesting news that just came out in the past couple hours regarding a potential trade that could go down this week with the Packers. Apparently, the Packers and Raiders have been in trade talks. It came out from Aaron Nagler of Cheesehead TV saying this. According to a pair of league sources, however, the Packers are targeting a veteran tight end, specifically Las Vegas Raiders tight end Darren Waller. The Packers and Raiders have engaged in talks regarding a trade of Waller with an eye toward a deal getting done during this week's NFL draft. Waller is also apparently the player the Packers were trying to pry away from the Raiders during the negotiations around the trade of Davante Adams, a move that was nixed when both sides were reminded that league rules prohibit players from being a part of compensation for a trade of a player on an unsigned franchise tag. If you guys are new here, you want to see more Packers content, feel free to subscribe down below. I put out Packers content, daily news, all that kind of stuff. And with the draft coming up, I will be putting out videos around that. So if you want to see that, I'll make sure your notifications are turned on so you get notified the second I make a video. So this is honestly some pretty wild news. The fact that initially it seemed that Waller was involved in a trade between the Raiders and the Packers when Davante Adams was sent to Las Vegas, but they were unable to because of like a league rule about I think trading a unsigned franchise tagged player, something like that. And so because of that, clearly they weren't able to do that. And some more information actually came out recently from Acme Packing Company saying this. A source confirms with Acme Packing Company that the original trade compensation for the Adams trade was the 22nd overall pick and Waller, but there is an NFL rule about trading a franchise tag player who has yet to sign his deal for another player, which made Waller ineligible to be involved in the trade. Since Adams refused to sign the tender, the trade stalled from Monday when the original offer was sent to the league office until Thursday when Waller was replaced with the Raiders' second-round pick. A second-round pick based on the original offer is what I would assume is the proposed compensation for Waller in a pick-for-player trade. So according to Acme Packing Company, originally the trade was the Raiders would send a first-round pick and Darren Waller for Davante Adams. And honestly, I think giving that second-round pick to the Raiders for Darren Waller makes lots of sense. We get a guy who has produced at the highest level when it comes to receiving stats for a tight end in the NFL. If we take a look here at his past few seasons, last year he had a few injuries, but he still had 55 receptions, 665 yards and 2 TDs. 2020, a year he went to the Pro Bowl, 107 receptions, 1,196 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And I think Derek Carr is a great quarterback, but he's definitely not Aaron Rodgers. And for the Packers, who I think need some production right away, being able, if the Packers were able to get a trade done with the Raiders, if they were able to trade that second-round pick, the Raiders already gave the Packers. The Packers could just be like, all right, let's give it back, and then get Darren Waller to where basically the initial reported trade with Waller being involved, that would basically be what would happen if they were able to trade that second-round pick for Darren Waller. And I think this makes lots of sense for the Packers to get a guy who is going to produce. Clearly, we still have Robert Tonyan signed for the next year, but he still is, healing from that ACL injury. And I love Robert Tonyan, but I think Darren Waller is a beast, and we saw just how good he was 2019 and 2020, 2 seasons over 1,000 receiving yards. So to be able to add him would be incredible. So I'm hoping this deal actually gets done. Who knows if it'll happen, because sometimes, reports come out that there's a potential trade going down, and then sometimes things don't work out. But it looks like this could potentially happen, so I will keep my eye on this or to see if any other news comes out regarding the Packers trading for Darren Waller. And I'm all for it. I'm all for sending a second-round pick for a guy who can come in here right away and I think be very, very valuable for this Packers team, who definitely needs some, more weapons on this offense. We got Sammy Watkins. We're going to probably get a few receivers in this draft, but to be able to get a guy, a veteran presence who will likely be able to come in right away and produce for the Packers, I think is definitely key. So I hope this trade goes down. I hope the Packers are able to get a deal done. But that is all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you guys next time.